Well, it's good to have everybody here. We, of course, coming off a big week. Uh, this is a team of growth, and we're growing, and we're learning how to win close games, and thought we took a step forward in that regard last week. Lost a close one on Wednesday, won a close one on Saturday. Similar type of scenarios where it's a tie game, very close game coming down the last few moments, and we were able to find a way. And so very excited about that for our players. They've worked extremely hard. Their effort has been terrific. Their focus has been really, really good. And so to be rewarded with a win was really important for us. And, of course, we're looking to finish final exams here tomorrow. And then we've got a Mississippi Valley State team that's, of course, well-traveled and been on the road a lot. But we've got to be ready to go against them on Friday.
Coach, how much does it affect, I guess, the morale of the team, the energy in practice, and to have the losing streak behind them and to have a win to build on?
Well, we try very hard, Nathan, to have the same type of approach. I've always taken the track of if our effort is really good and our focus is really good, we're going to be process-oriented and just keep focusing on getting better. So whether we've won or lost, our expectation is that we've got great attitudes, we've got great effort, our body language is strong. But without a doubt, when you win, there's a shot in the arm. There's that elation that you get after that game that can spill into the next day. And so very, very happy for our team. But they've stayed focused throughout, and we expect that now even after the win.
What are some of the lessons that they're learning that enabled them to win that game down the stretch as opposed to the previous couple where they slipped away?
Of course, you'll look at, from a fan's perspective, or you'll look at this shot that was missed or this turnover that occurred. You always analyze the last few minutes of the game, and we do too, but we're taking a very process-oriented approach to the things, the larger categories that we can get better at. On Wednesday night, we gave up 18 offensive rebounds. On Saturday, we gave up 10, and I thought that was a big difference. On Wednesday, we gave up a whole lot more free throws that allowed them to get easy points. On Saturday, they shot more free throws than us, but not as many points. So I thought us winning the turnover margin on Saturday and winning the rebounding margin by 1 was a big deal.
What does it do for confidence moving forward after seeing so many close games go the other way, that you see one finally go in your direction? When you get in a close game later on the road, there's a, hey, we've been here before and we've come out on the right side of it.
Yeah, I think, Dan, that it's really important to build confidence, and you get that confidence from doing. We've got a number of guys that are in this situation really for the first time. They're getting experience. Some are very, very young. Some are older in the program, but they're being in these late game positions for the first time. And it takes a little bit of time to grow and learn how to win games, win close games. And so having that experience of taking care of the basketball and getting some good shots and then getting some key stops down the stretch with rebounds is really, really important and something we can absolutely build on.
How are you seeing Bryant really develop and grow in front of your eyes? He's kind of like a walking double-double at this point.
Yeah, it's been great. When he came and when we signed him, we really felt like rebounding would be something that we could count on. Scoring is always a little bit different. There's a step up in level. He did play at a very high level of junior college basketball, but he's found ways to score, and we need that. We need that balance. We need more shots around the basket. And we're starting to design some more things to put him in different spots. He actually got double-teamed a couple times on Saturday and made a kick out. So constantly just exploring and finding ways to get him shots, but also create shots for other people. But he's getting better and better.
High school football coaches here talk about the season being kind of 3 parts, non-district, then district, and the playoffs. So for you, I guess, do you guys divvy it up that way with non-conference and then conference and then postseason play? And if you do that, what's the big talking point maybe for you guys in these non-conference games since they're about to wrap up?
We do talk about the several seasons of the year, TJ. We'll talk about the off season and then the preseason, the non-conference season, the regular conference season, and then the postseason. And so we're coming down the home stretch here of the non-conference season. We have an overall theme and different markers and measurements to try to show and illustrate improvement, from the weight room to practice to games. And so we're constantly measuring that. But without a doubt, we want to see improvement. I feel like we've improved in certain areas. We've got to become more consistent in those areas. And then we've got to find ways to finish. And we've been talking about finishing, and not just finishing games, but finishing plays, finishing with a rebound, finishing with a hard cut, just being better finishers. And that's what we've been focusing on.
Is there an element of, I don't know the right phrase, building momentum maybe in these non-conference games as you build into that regular season conference play that you mentioned?
You know, we talk more about just what can we control every day and trying to become everyday guys and having every day be our masterpiece. We want to build that way. And we're not getting so focused on what we want to obviously play our best basketball in February and March, but how do we get there? And it's not by skipping steps down the road. It's how can we constantly have this build up, knowing that improvement's not a straight line. It's going to take some little dips, and then you learn from those dips. And I feel like we've done that, but then we've got to be able to handle a little bit of prosperity too, and also come out of this week. We've got guys that are very, very busy with final exams. Yesterday was a monster day, but we're back at practice here today, tomorrow, and get ready for Mississippi Valley State.
I visited with you earlier today about this team. Tell me a little bit more about them. And they've been on the road for a long time, only one game back at their spot, so they're probably getting tired of playing on the road. How do you formulate all that to play your style of game?
Yeah, and that's the thing about Mississippi Valley State and some teams in their position where they're playing a lot of road games. And you look at their schedule, it's brutal. I mean, we played one home game in our first 6. Three of them were neutral site games, but it's tough. It's tough to travel. It's tough to go in another team's building. They could be, I'm sure, at times growing confidence in just the routine of doing that, but they've got some explosiveness to them. Collins is a talented scorer, a guy that has the ability to put a team on his back and really propel a team. We've seen some guys like that in Asmus at ORU and Davis at Detroit, even Zarzuela, the numbers that he came into the game against Central Michigan. So we got to do a great job there. They're also a team that's going to play a lot of 2-3 zone. We've seen some of it, and we've got to be prepared because it's different to see that as much as they play it. So we know that we're going to get a great effort. They play extremely hard. We're going to have to play hard and play well to come away with a win for this one.
All right, going to go sideways, Coach, since we won't have this setting probably before Christmas. So, favorite Christmas memory in the Konkol household? Do you have one?
Well, I've had a lot of ones. I think Christmas is one of the great holidays for a number of reasons. You know, if you're under the age of 5, it's because of what might come your way. Of course, if you're religious, there's another reason. I can think about a couple things. I've been a father now for over 13 years, but before that, as a child, I grew up in a very small community in Wisconsin, and my dad's the youngest of 10, my mom's the middle of 8, and the majority of our family lived in central Wisconsin. And so we would go to church on a Christmas morning and then have a family get-together, and group of people would be in like one living room. And then you'd have like 5 rooms filled with so many people and kids. And even though I was playing basketball, it seemed like every Christmas there'd be an NFL game on we'd watch. And then probably of my grandparents, there'd be 20 of us grandkids under the age of like 15 playing football out in the snow and just trying to kill each other. And I have great memories of that. And of course, as a father, I don't know, I just think there's something special about that day and your kids waking up, even though it's too early, of just seeing the elation in them and just the hope and everything else. But I think Christmas is a heck of a holiday.
Any favorite present you recall?
For me, I remember getting I think it was through I can't remember the name of the company, but I remember getting a Michael Jordan and a Larry Bird like starting lineup figurine one year. I think they're coming back now, actually, and I wish I never would have opened it. But who doesn't open it when you're 12? But those were cool. I thought those were great. I collected a bunch of those things like that.
All right, you already kind of went through tradition. Any other special tradition in the Konkol household, like, you know, going out on a snowmobile or something? Whatever.
There was a lot of snow where I grew up. You know, we've you know, people will ask, you know, are you going anywhere? Like Tulsa's home for us, and we're going to be here for the holidays. Early in marriage, and this became not a tradition because before kids, my wife and I, she's from Minnesota, I'm from Wisconsin, and we would take turns celebrating even for those 2 days. Maybe go to my parents for a Christmas, and then go to her parents for a Christmas. And I think it was our first year of marriage. We thought we'd be really efficient with our schedule. I was at George Mason. We were playing at St. Bonaventure, and we just had a few days. And Megan was back in D.C., and we decided rather than me fly home with the team and then us get together and then fly to Wisconsin, we just meet there. Well, of course, I got through the snow, she didn't, and we were like apart for our very first Christmas as a married couple. So we decided we're never doing that again. And it's a hard place to travel to, but Tulsa's home. We'll be here for Christmas, and we're looking forward to many traditions here.
Can you ice skate?
I've ice skated, yes. Can I?
No
No hockey. No hockey. I've done it, but in my elementary school, they would they would put water out, and that was like a recess activity. I mean, when it gets under 50 and kids aren't going out to recess, I'm like, it was almost 50 below, and we'd be outside trying to ice skate and stuff.
How about ice fishing?
I have ice fished.
It's the worst, isn't it?
It is, but I did. You know, there's glamping, and then I did some glamorous ice fishing. I had a friend whose family had a shanty, you know, with a heater, with a generator and a TV with rabbit ears so we could watch. So it wasn't really. We would just watch the tip-ups out there and then, you know, bundle up and go grab them. So I've done that, not many times. I like basketball because it's climate controlled.
Any other questions? Yes. All right. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate y'all being here. Thank you very much, and happy holidays too. And I'll see you again.